Every generation creates new systems, but very few create systems truly centered on human identity, dignity, and alignment.
That is exactly right. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at how OneGodian is building a connected digital ecosystem designed specifically for education, creativity, infrastructure, and community contribution right here in the AI era. Let's dive in and see how this framework is actually constructed.
So, going back to that philosophical hook we just mentioned, this idea of centering systems on human alignment, it really is the driving force behind the entire OneGodian ecosystem.
It reflects a really distinct shift in focus, doesn't it? While so much of the modern tech era is spent just optimizing algorithms or scaling servers, this framework is specifically architected from the ground up to prioritize human alignment. We're going to examine exactly how they are attempting to establish this.
Let's jump into Section 1. What is OneGodian? Looking at the founder-defined identity framework.
At its core, the documentation defines OneGodians as an identity and conceptual framework centered entirely on unity, human value, and structured digital systems.
Essentially, it takes these very high-level concepts and grounds them into a concrete, institutional framework for disciplined self-governance. The source material outlines that it includes educational platforms, creative initiatives, identity systems, and AI governance concepts, all designed for long-term development.
Now, to really grasp this ecosystem, we have to establish its institutional boundaries. As you'll see on the left, it's structured as a robust digital ecosystem, an education platform, and a community-centered infrastructure initiative.
And just as importantly, the documentation is incredibly clear about what it is not. It is not a government, no way is it a nation-state, and it's definitely not a replacement religion. The whole framework is hyper-focused on being public safe, institutionally clean, and purely about unified digital infrastructure.
If we look at the origins, founder To OneGodian established this framework to weave diverse spiritual wisdom into a coherent identity for the modern era.
Right. The overarching aim here is to basically compile fragments of human history and philosophical wisdom into a unified truth. And then it uses highly structured digital systems to organize and present all that information clearly to the public.
Moving right along to Section 2, a unified digital ecosystem. This is where we look at architecting the future.
So this ecosystem is being developed as a structured, modular platform designed to evolve responsibly over time. For instance, OneGodian.org serves as the public-facing educational hub. It cleanly separates the identity, belief, and community aspects from the commerce side.
Exactly. And then you have OneGodian.com acting as the commercial entity for branded goods and member services. Below all that sits Oravalon, which acts as an interpretive AI intelligence layer designed to structure information. Finally, the whole thing is supported by an underlying API infrastructure to keep it secure and scalable.
And the tech stack here is already super impressive. It reflects a lot of active development, well beyond just conceptual white papers. The architecture actually utilizes Next.js and TypeScript, integrating custom systems like their OHI search engine, which indexes platform-specific content alongside secure digital identity structures.
Absolutely. It also incorporates OMOS, their primary member dashboard system, along with Web3 security layers. And what's really wild is that this entire full-stack development phase has been coordinated by a single-member LLC up to this point. It really sets a solid technical foundation for future contributors to build on.
The source material also points out that the technology within this framework is guided by a specific set of principles known as the OneGodian Code.
That's right. This code ensures the platforms actually promote balance, continuous lifelong learning, and ethical tech. It functions as a structured commitment to making sure these digital tools foster personal growth and empathy, rather than just maximizing our distraction.
Let's jump into Section 3, Building the Physical Home, where we look at bridging the digital and the physical. Well, to scale from a digital operation into a collaborative entity, physical infrastructure is the next logical step. The documents outline some key real-world operational needs, starting with an operational headquarters for long-term administration and development planning.
For sure. Bridging these digital tools into the real world means they also need dedicated media and studio space to produce videos, podcasts, and educational streams. Add to that a technology workspace for the API architecture and a physical environment for aligned community meetings.
And to make this physical foundation a reality, the founder is actively seeking strategic partnerships. The focus currently is on finding aligned property owners, investors, and organizations who want to help establish mixed-use or creative campuses, whether that's dedicated office space or maybe underutilized commercial property. It's a very tangible opportunity for strategic collaborators to anchor this digital ecosystem in the real world.
That brings us to Section 4, Calling All Contributors, Shaping the Future Together. So here we are at a really critical phase of the ecosystem, a direct invitation to the builder community. We are looking for contributors, developers, educators, creators, designers, strategists, writers, researchers, musicians, supporters, and aligned builders. And listen, you do not need to fit into a traditional mold. If you have a specialized skill set, whether you're building full-stack apps, composing music, or designing user interfaces, and you believe in building meaningful systems that help people connect, learn, create, and grow, there may absolutely be a place for you here.
Because the ultimate goal of this initiative is utilizing ethical technology and community contribution to build resilient, long-term infrastructure.
Right. The goal is not noise. The goal is long-term infrastructure, clarity, education, and contribution. It's about moving away from the fragmentation of the modern internet to build systems where people can actually connect and grow together in a highly structured environment.
So, we want to leave you with this provocative question, drawn right from the source material. Will you help shape the future of digital identity, ethical technology, and connected communities?
It's a real challenge, directed at focused learners and skilled builders alike. The digital architecture is there. The conceptual vision is completely clear. Now, the project is seeking contributors to expand its global potential.
If you want to contribute to the future of digital identity, ethical technology, creative systems, and connected communities,
We invite you to explore OneGodian.org and become part of the journey. The door is open and contributors are welcome. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we look forward to seeing what you help build.